Damn.
one of the best ones. That was loud, echoey too.
Were you practicing?
I mean, the one who
Is that the
masters
clapping I'm hearing at night, George?
Shut up. The one who masters the one-handed clap shall master all skills. So, hey guys, Talks Too Much Third Party Studios. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Third Party Podcast. We are reviewing The Pope's Exorcist. We just got out of the theaters. With me, as always, in this corner over here that you guys can't see is the Cody.
Yeah, I'm in the corner.
Yeah. No one puts Cody in a corner. He puts himself in the corner.
Yeah.
Because you're not the boss of him. He's the boss of him.
I'll punish myself, damn it.
Is that what you're doing at night? No. And then in the other corner, we have the Slim.
Yo.
Wearing his blue hat and his Nike sweater.
That's both wrong. Like, for sure it's red.
Both of those things are wrong. But you don't know at home because you guys can't
Just
see us.
Picture it.
We hide behind our anonymity.
Whatever sponsor you can get.
Whatever. Anonymity. Oh yeah, we're sponsoring Nike. That's fantastic.
Yeah, we got to deal with Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah. How was securing that agreement very difficult, Cody?
No,
Wink.
no.
You guys were alone in that room for a long time.
I mean, yeah, you got to do some stuff, but $20 is $20.
$20 is $20. Speaking
Sure
of $20, that was not what it cost to go to this movie. It cost way more. But I mean, so we are going to be jumping right into this film. There will probably be some spoilers as we go through and talk about this.
Yeah.
Nothing that's going to ruin the film. If you saw the trailer, I think you're going to get the premise of the movie. It's very similar to just about every other Exorcist movie
Basically.
that's ever existed, except that I do think that the ending was a bit more engaged. And I mean that by saying there was more happening at the end of the film than there were in a lot of other.
It did jump around a lot between different places.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't tough.
Well, it was pretty much just Italy and Spain.
Yeah, but it just kept jumping between the characters without much. It was like a hard cut. You know what I mean?
Right.
To the next character. I mean, it kept it clean enough where you knew what was going on, but I was like, oh, they're here again. Oh, they're here again. Oh, they're here again.
Cody,
Why are
can
we
you
seeing
give us
this old fuck?
before we get too deep into it? Cody, can you give us a little bit of a synopsis of this movie? Just a simple breakdown, just something short.
The gladiator became the Pope's exorcist, and so he goes on a case, and the fucking jury of other bishops or whatever.
Yeah, so there was a council meeting of really high-end priest people.
So they're kind of like giving him shit or whatever because it was his last exorcist, and apparently he causes a bunch of trouble.
Yeah, he's
the best of the best. There's a big case over in Spain. They send him there to exorcise this kid, do little push-ups and whatnot.
one of the most aptly, one of the best descriptors that I've heard about this movie came from an interview Russell Crowe did himself, where he said that this movie is James Bond meets an exorcism or an exorcist. He's like the James Bond renegade of exorcisms. And I thought that was actually pretty aptly put. I thought that was well said.
Kinda, yeah. Very jokey. Go to exercise this kid, and shit goes down.
Now the movie itself is actually based on a real person who lived.
Right.
To the extent that the story itself is true or
he
just
wrote-
Hollywood writing.
He wrote many books, and they were good.
Yep. He wrote many books. So you could actually look up a lot of his work. You could read into it and check out some of the background history of this person himself, that he wrote himself. Father Gabriel Amherst. He was a soldier in World War II. Then he was a Pulitzer Prize winning writer, journalist. And
Yeah, he's like a journalist. He's got 3 different.
Did he have a doctorate too and
he
something?
had a doctorate. Yep, I do believe that's true. I mean, he had these ridiculously incredible accolades. A full career before he joined the Vatican and became a pope, or not a pope.
A pope, one of the popes.
He became an exorcist. So I mean, he had a long-spanning career and a very impressive one, even before he joined the church.
Yeah, it says I kind of look up how accurate the movie is. It doesn't say anything about the ending because it got kind of ridiculous.
Okay,
That's how exorcists go. You've never done one?
I don't know about that.
I gotta actually jump on with Slim here on this one. This movie has an entirely it was very campy towards the end of the film, and I mean that in the sense that the cross that he holds up against the demon's head starts making Star Wars sound effects and shit. It's It's like,
Yeah, it's burning on their head, and then he gets like sucked into the whatever and fire. It's like, well, I don't know if this really happened. We'd be hearing a lot more of this story.
let me set the stage a little bit from my position on this. I want to say, I love that Russell Crowe is back in Hollywood doing films again. I am okay with this being his like big entry back into Hollywood because I think
he did that one, that Road Rage one.
Road Rage.
It's not called Road Rage, but it was like a warning of like don't fuck with people in traffic, and he's like a big asshole or some shit.
Okay, I mean he's had some movies come out he's had some movies come out. It's not like he's not doing anything, but I don't think there's been much that's been mainstream. Nothing that's really kind of broken through the ceiling on
no like
movies
big
for a while.
blockbusters or anything.
Which is a shame because that's what I'm saying. Is I really like his movies that make it to the forefront and become blockbusters and things like that. So it's really good to see him. It's really good to see him kind of return and starring in his own movie again and maybe a franchise. This movie left the door open for a lot of subsequent movies.
Yeah.
Now here's the question though: will it make money? Will this movie make money?
What did it cost to produce? It doesn't look like that high of a budget film, so probably will.
Well, it's been out for what, like a week and a half almost.
Budget was 18 mil.
Yep, it dropped a week ago.
Gross worldwide right now is 40,000.
40 million.
40 million. Sorry.
So okay, so looking at the box office
second
numbers,
weekend, and we went at 10:45. Theater was
Dead.
kind of dead, yeah.
But it's also 10:45 on a Saturday.
A horror movie on its second weekend. So
Yeah.
Well, let's ask another question. Would this movie have done better if it wasn't up against some other really big movies that are doing really well right now? I mean, besides the Mario.
Like what?
Mario.
Yeah.
Mario is literally
But that's a
owning
different-
the box office
Mario
right now.
and the Pope's Exorcist.
They're two
do
different
not share
genres.
audiences.
They do
No,
not.
but they occupy theater
I mean,
space.
we
The
both
Pope's Exorcist is not on the big screen or not on the ultra screen or on the top screen right now.
No, how often do horror movies get that?
Well, I mean, the parents who bring their kids to the Super Mario movie are still thinking about other movies. I mean, that's the audience, and we know that kids aren't going to the Super Mario movie on their own. At least not the primary audience. So it's the parents are not going to do a double feature and go see a movie like The Pope's Exorcist right now. And Guy Ritchie's new film just came out. The Guy Ritchie's film The Covenant is an action movie.
That was kind of quietly dropped. I didn't even realize it was out.
Right, but that shares almost the exact same audience as The Pope's Exorcist. So now the primary target audience is cut in half, is already shrunk, because the parents who are taking their kids to the Super Mario movie are not doing a second movie in the same day or same weekend. And then you have that audience of people who will go is now cut in half by Guy Ritchie's film that dropped at the same time.
I think it'll do good enough to make a sequel.
Yeah.
Horror
Horror
films
movies-
are not
yeah.
hard to produce, and they're cheap.
Well, I'm surprised
They're
the
cheap.
budget's so freaking small. 18. So we're looking at the
Well,
box
six-
office numbers.
16 of it went to Russell Crowe.
That's what I'm saying.
Probably did.
Well, so let me just get the number out there. 18 million is we're looking at the box office numbers here, and it's 18 million is the estimated budget for the movie. If you add in, let's say we double that and give it and put
Because
the
of
marketing budget
and all
in it.
the other bullshit, yeah.
Yep, and all the change, we just double it. Let's bring it up to 36,000 or 36 million. God damn it, Slim. Now you got me doing it. 36 million. Let's say it's 36 million is the budget, the expense, and currently
I've already made 4 million.
40 million. Yep, it's already made 40 million. It's 4 million ahead.
Yep, they'll make a sequel.
All
they needed to see.
Well, and honestly, if
I'd kind of be into it.
I
did enjoy the movie.
Well-
Let's do a quick, what do you think, overall thoughts and then rate it or whatever.
Sure. My overall thoughts on the movie were, I was hoping for more Russell Crowe and less Exorcist movie. His acting was the highlight of the frickin' movie.
I'm not
Otherwise-
Italian, but he did Italian pretty good.
He did great.
He did a good job.
He was awesome. Russell Crowe. If this was any other actor, I wouldn't have been into it. I really don't think I would have been.
I pretty much only saw it because Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's what. If you enjoy Russell Crowe's acting, he will carry you through this movie, and you will walk out with a smile on your face, and you will have had a good time and enjoyed the movie. I really believe that.
Yeah, and he's fun.
And he's very fun. The movie itself is just a really good Exorcist movie. It's a really good way to kill a night and have a good time. But again, if Russell Crowe wasn't leading the charge on this and doing the acting we all love Russell Crowe for doing, I don't think I would have enjoyed it. I might not have even seen it.
I wouldn't have.
Probably
seen it.
not.
So, I mean, if I had to say the movie itself,
That's fine.
The movie itself was fine. I would say 6, maybe 7.
I was gonna say 7.
And then, but I mean, again, if you're gonna go, if you want to see a good actor on a screen do a good job, and you want to enjoy your money spent at the theater, this will get you there. You can have a good weekend and enjoy this movie with.
The kid does a pretty good job too. I know he's probably a lot of guiding into it, but
let's get on the kid. But finish your general overview and your rate.
You want to bring
it.
Yeah, don't get on the kid.
I mean, obviously, it's a lot of voiceover, so he probably didn't have to nail his voice acting.
The voice was the father from The Witch, if you ever saw that.
I did not see it. Is that another horror film? Is
Yes.
that the one with the 2 V's that make a
Yeah,
W
the
and the
Vivitch.
goat?
The Vivitch.
The Vivitch?
But
You son of a Vivitch.
He's in a lot of other shit, but I can't really place him.
between all the probably makeup and voice actor, I mean, not that the kid didn't have to act and do all that, but just his movements and his...
Yeah, he's creepy as fuck.
Creepy.
Yeah. What was your
Kids are
rating?
creepy.
It was about, I would say 7 to 7.5. I enjoyed it for what it was, kind of thing.
I mean, we talk a lot about, and even off microphone, we talk a lot about, stupid movies, but they're fun stupid.
Yeah, it was a fun movie.
Normally, I hate that. This is the only movie I think I would put in the fun but stupid category that I'd actually see again, or I'd actually enjoy.
It's not that stupid, really, though.
No, but I mean, it's also not a...
It's not very thought-provoking or anything like that.
It's not very thought-provoking, and honestly, it's for
shut
me,
your
it's
brain
kind of one
off
or the
and
other.
watch it.
Shut your brain off and watch is probably more appropriate.
Me and a bunch of buddies in college would just once a month or twice a month, we'd go get like 4 movies from Redbox. If you kids know what that is.
Oh yeah, shit.
Them younger kids don't know what Redbox is. We'd go to a grocery store and rent movies from this big red box.
Yeah,
and it was real cheap if you brought it back a day later.
Age yourself even further and tell them about movie stores.
Oh, good. This thing called
a
Best
Blockbuster?
Buy.
What's Blockbuster?
Blockbuster, yeah. So we'd go there and we'd rent like 2 or 3 scary movies. We'd just have a bunch of beers, order some pizza, and watch. This would be a movie we'd get.
Sure.
And just sit around in our living room, have a few drinks together, and watch a movie. We did that a couple times a month.
The issue with Hollywood is that there's so much of that and so little of, like what Cody said, thought-provoking movies. The market's so skewed one way over the other right now, and it's just they're pandering to this isn't targeted at you, but they're pandering to an audience that is the lowest common denominator, right? They know that the thought-provoking movies are for a smaller skew of the audience, so they just dumb down all movies to the lowest level so that they can get the widest.
They just see the profit. They don't care.
And I mean, that's not really art. I mean, that's not really art or cinema or even thought-provoking. I think is just the best way to say it. But I mean, at the end of the day, I just really want to see more movies with good quality actors in it doing a good job. And honestly, if a good actor has to carry a piece of crap film, then fine. But I just want to see well-talented actors doing their best.
Yeah.
I think it was again, I know you're not saying this, but I don't think it was a crap film. I think it was a middle-of-the-road film that got boosted up by the actor in it. It'd been like a 5 out of 10 film, but with him in there, it raises up to a 7 or 7.5 or whatever you want to give it.
Well, actually, I have a good thought experiment for this.
No, great. Here we go.
Well,
There we go.
Name an actor who could be in this movie, and name a high-end actor, like a high-quality actor that couldn't carry this movie. So for me, I'm thinking
Couldn't carry this movie?
Yeah. So Vin Diesel, he's done all these stupid all these.
You would never be able to take him
action
serious.
horror like what was it, the blood shot or whatever.
The Rock.
Bloodshot.
They should put The Rock in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Rock has
There's
fucking
so many-
priest.
Huge.
There's so many big name actors right now that if you put
Bring it, demon.
put them into this movie, it wouldn't have done anything like this. Like people would not have gone. I don't think
It's
people.
about family.
It's
Tell
about
me-
family.
Tell
Get
me
down
I'm
to
wrong.
my
though.
family.
Vin Diesel couldn't
Punch
have
the demon out of
done
this little boy.
He's smaller than the kid. He's smaller.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, what do you think the sequel would look like? Do you think it would look like a what's
I think they just go around the world doing the same thing over and over again.
they could.
It's like,
They
oh,
would-
this is another badass demon.
This is exactly what the next movie would be like,
Yeah.
and they'd see how it pans out for profit. And
Well-
if they're like, well, people like that too, let's make another.
Well, they started with the devil in this one, so they really
It's
don't.
not the devil.
It's the king.
The king of hell,
The king of hell.
Asmodeus.
Asmodeus. They didn't. It wasn't Lucifer.
Well, okay. I was under the doesn't. Okay, this
I
shows
mean,
how much I know
Lucifer's
about
got
hell.
like a lot of names and shit, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Doesn't he have like 10 names?
it's different.
Oh, okay.
It's a different guy.
Forgive me for not knowing my demonology.
there you go.
Demology. I like that.
I took a class.
You took a class
Demology 101.
That's a,
online at the school,
It's like
like
a
the
night
Phoenix
class.
University online.
we're trying to summon Cthulhu.
Man, that was a crazy week.
Getting me nowhere. Like,
I was on a bender, and all of a sudden I was just wearing robes, chanting, summoning a
I really went
creature from
deep.
another dimension.
Well, this movie
It's the last
did.
time I took shrooms.
Well, there was a lot of thought-provoking stuff in this because this movie trails back to like the Spanish Inquisition. You know, the church's role in that. The way the demons interact with the church. There's a lot of nuances there, and
They
a lot
kind
of
of
stuff to touch
actually should
onto.
explore one thing in the next movie is like, I wish they would have done it more. Actually, he talked about how one of the main guys in the church got possessed, and that's that's how the Spanish Inquisition got popped, was because this guy got possessed in the church and prompted it. I was like,
crazy.
that was
The
like,
lead exorcist back in the 1400s, he suggested the Spanish Inquisition, got possessed, and then the Inquisition atrocities started to happen.
yeah. And
So that's kind of a cool concept.
So that's what it was like, leaning on this demon infiltrated the Vatican, and it's the one that, but all the atrocities from that was because of this.
Right, because
Insurrection.
Osmondeus is trying to possess the
redo it
exorcist
again.
to do the same shit.
Yeah, he's trying to repeat it.
Give me to the Vatican.
Well, and if you could do the same thing today, you'd just go to Ukraine and just fire nukes and shit. You do all sorts of crap stuff if you could possess the Pope's exorcist today.
That today would be much worse because we have huge tools of destruction now.
Well,
not
it's
swords
more-
and spears.
It's more
Exactly.
the church versus hell kind of thing, not like countries or the world.
No,
they just want to destroy the Catholic Church.
Sure. But the super weapons that we have today would definitely make for an
The
interesting...
Pope doesn't have nukes.
No, but honestly, that was another thing that confused me
Yes,
too.
that
is-
you know
Yes.
of.
Why was he going after the Exorcist? I mean, at the beginning of the movie, they set the stage for how little power the Exorcist actually has. Like, he's literally brought in front of a tribunal that's ready to fire him.
Maybe
and
that's-
there's one
He's the
guy
po-
in the church who can hold him up in his
Did
position.
you read the title of the movie?
Yeah, I read
He's
the
the
title.
Pope's exorcist. He's like around
The Pope was
all the
cool with
time.
him too, so
Yeah,
I think
but the
he's.
Pope knew. The Pope was thinking that. He's like, the Pope was thinking that while he was away. He's like, this is super dangerous and stuff. I'm worried for Gabriel. Like, Gabriel's going to come back to the church and he's going to be like, oh, yeah, let's just go murder some people in the name of
No,
God.
and then he tries to possess the Pope. Who knows?
Why didn't he just start with the Pope?
Because the Pope doesn't go out.
The Pope wouldn't go there, so he's trying to get in there, into next to the Pope. But funny enough, you say that I don't know how would the Pope know. But remember when like Gabriel says like yes to get possessed, and the Pope like wakes up from his coma. No, Gabriel.
That's right.
How did you know that?
Yeah, there's kind of a telepathic thing
How
going
did
on
you
there
know?
that doesn't make sense.
Well, and there was also a moment in the third act of the movie where that the one priest who goes on the sabbatical at the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
the
He's
bad
like-
guy priest, the big problem priest who's like a youngling who doesn't understand
He doesn't believe in
the
evil.
old church. He wants a new church.
Oh yeah, this generation doesn't understand the devil like the older
evil.
devils.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is there's some touch of
Not wrong.
there's some
It's
touch of
all
modern
your
reality in that.
imagination.
But I mean, doesn't this movie take place in the 80s?
It's like 87.
Yeah. So
87, I think.
do you think the sentiment of the old church needs to go was that prevalent in the 80s?
I wasn't around.
I was not alive. I don't know.
All of us knew people who were. I don't know. I don't think the sentiment towards the church was
I don't
that
know a
bad
lot
in
of
the 80s.
priests.
I don't know.
No idea.
I think you're looking too far into it.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. We are looking as deep into it as the rabbit hole goes.
What did you guys think of the beginning of the movie? Because I like the idea they bring up the like most of these cases are just mental problems.
I
And-
actually really dug that.
Like-
I did like what I was reading because I looked up how much it was true. He did 50,000 quote unquote exorcism in his career,
Jesus.
and only about I think he said what was it 100 or was it I think it was 100 of them were actual
Legitimate cases.
Legitimate
that
cases.
made up- Yeah.
So that's where that guy
Well,
got
they say
that
in the-
2%.
Yeah, they say in the movie that 98% of
He's
them
like
is
most of
bullshit.
them were like either epilepsy or medical problems or deranged or
Psychosis
this,
or
yep,
stuff like
all
that.
that stuff. And he's like about 100. I was reading that article
they
right
don't-
before we started.
Like in the beginning of the movie, he goes out to exercise this, like, I assume, like, teenager or whatever.
He's roughly yeah.
Yep.
They don't address how he knows, like, because they first caught on when he's, like, talking English and shit, because he's never spoke English before. They never address that, but
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they did.
You didn't catch that? Okay, Slim. why don't you-
He asked if they have a TV,
Oh.
and he's like, "Yeah, we got a TV."
So he's
Do you
watching
guys get
shit.
the news? Yeah, we get the news. So he must be watching
American news.
American
English
news
news. So,
and getting it.
yep.
And so another cool thing about that is like when he brought that first circle thing out for the first film, you know, you're like, what's this guy doing? And you just see his eyes following it. You don't really think anything of it. At least I didn't. And then when they got to that kid later on,
He didn't
he's
react.
doing this. The first kid didn't, but the second one, he's going like this, and his eyes like follow it. And then you saw the demon's eyes to
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's how he knows.
But so, yeah, it was, he's saying he got rid of this kid's delirium, paranoia, whatever the fuck he had, psychosis,
Yep.
by the power of suggestion. Kid's like thinks he's possessed, but he's not. And
Yeah.
so
Yep.
he's like, yeah, possess that pig, and then they just shoot the pig.
I did not expect
You are
that.
cured.
Well, you can't just go around taking a poor village and just murder their livestock for the sake of good
That's a-
television.
That's a nice pig.
Boom! Shotgun right to the head.
Looks
That
like
was-
we're having roast tonight.
Yeah, this happens very early in the movie, guys. So yeah, if you're
Like in
good-
the first like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's the first 5 minutes.
It's right away.
honestly, that was kind of interesting because I'd never seen that in any exorcism movie. Like they transfer the demon to a new thing instead.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, and maybe it's common and I'm forgetting it, but that I don't remember them
No, me
transferring
neither.
demons between hosts.
You think you a badass demon? Possess that pig.
Can you possess the pig?
He's like, go,
Yeah.
Like, you can't
was
possess
good.
me.
How did he know? How
You
did
don't
the
know
de-
shit.
Yeah, the demon's like, I could be in that pig. I could totally do it.
I love that pig.
I'm excited. Woo.
Yeah, I'm in the pig now, bitch.
Boom! Shotgun.
I'm glad the pig doesn't make a recurring doesn't have a recurring role in the film.
I need an animal sacrifice every time I do this.
He's just going around.
You guys got a cat or
He's
something?
walking around exercising people with a PETA shirt on. It's like you can't kill them in farms. We'll kill them here instead.
I need a dog and a shotgun.
Oh my god. I think that's as far as we pushed it.
I could be an exorcist.
That's your 2 requests to the family. I need your dog and I need your shotgun.
You got a gun? Oh, that's all right. I brought my own.
Well, back to the point you were making about the skepticism of exorcisms.
Because so many of them are, bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the what's the franchise? Is it the Conjuring franchise? Does the exact same thing. They, the Warrens, Ed and Elizabeth Warren, they go around and when they're doing it, they're like, oh, leaky pipes. Like, oh, that's not a real ghost.
Oh.
And then she can see ghosts and interact with them, and she feels their presence and shit. And so she's like, oh, this one's a real one because I feel
I
it.
feel
I
it.
feel it
in my
bones.
Ed, I don't feel good about this one.
This one's
one's worse
spooky.
than the other ones, probably. I'm not hating on those movies. I actually really like them. But it's a pretty common trope in these exorcism movies for there to be an amount of skepticism in them.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like the ones that do the worst are the ones that approach it from a absolutism. Like you
find
go
it-
into all these exorcisms with a seriousness that they are all real.
Yeah.
It's that seems
I
like...
find
that-
it weird that the family accepted it pretty much right away.
Well, they live in a church, so it's going to be hard for them to push back on this one and be like, hey, listen, your son's possessed.
It didn't seem like they were that.
I mean, if my son was doing all that shit, and all of a sudden the guy comes in like it was bad, he's possessed, I'd be like, well, get in there and get it done. What are you
Yeah.
doing out here talking to
Go
me?
and get it done.
You better get on it, priest.
Yeah.
We're not paying you by the hour. You're not paying me at all. That's what I said.
Exactly. We're not paying you by the
Now,
hour.
how do you write up that invoice?
Get in there.
One ghost. Actually, the premise for the family, to me, was actually kind of flawed in totality. So, the father in this family passes away, and the kids are traumatized from
That
it.
was fucking jarring, by the way.
That was
It
weird.
just cuts to it.
Don't spoil that. Let's let that be a surprise.
Oh my
If we leave anything to be a surprise, let's let that one stand.
Like, oh, this.
The kids saw it. Jump cut. Whoa!
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, I'd be possessed too.
Yeah.
But the father figure dies,
Okay.
and the father has the rights, I guess, or owns the abbey,
Yep.
the church that this family decides to move into.
Yeah, it's been in their family for generations, which I assume that means that his family was part of that Inquisition back in the day.
Now you have you have a teenage daughter, and you have not a baby for a son.
Mentioning the teenage
then-
daughter, the first thing out of the mom's mouth or whatever, this line caught me. It's like, you can't wear that. They're going to be construction workers there. And I'm just like, yeah, because all construction workers are rapists.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
But the God damn it, Cody.
Construction workers.
The
Better watch out. They'll get you.
The flaw I had with the family was that the mom, after the dad passes, rather than being a responsible adult getting an 8 to 5 and having a teenage daughter who maybe gets her own part-time job and sometimes babysits her younger brother
Go sell
and just
popcorn.
keeps a full responsible job in the States. No, let's invest all of our life savings into restoring this gothic-aged church that's been just completely demolished by time after
And then try to sell it.
600 years. 700 years since its last remodel, because they said the 1400s
Yeah.
is when the stuff happened there.
I guess the
Yeah.
1470s.
So she's gonna spend their entire life savings remodeling this thing to sell it, and they're gonna live there instead. I'm just like,
Why
just
not?
get a freaking 8 to 5 job and have your teenage daughter maybe get a part-time job to
Why-
keep her busy.
Why fix it up at all? Just sell it.
Yeah, just give it away. Damn.
Just
give it
people
away.
would pay money. It's a big castle.
Yeah, pretty
that
much.
was- I mean, when
Someone's
the kid.
gonna buy it.
Well, and when the kids got to so at the beginning of the movie, when the kids get to their new home, which is this giant church castle thing, they were looking at it and not completely in awe of the
Yeah.
fact they get to live in a fucking castle.
Yeah.
It's very decrepit. I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to sleep in the car.
They didn't address how cold it would be either. That building has no freaking air control. I never saw a fireplace lit except when the demon was really pissed.
Yeah, then he was lighting them up, keeping them warm.
Yeah.
Good job, demon.
They never addressed the fact that it would be freaking cold there all the time.
Uh-huh.
No, it was the family thing confused the hell out of me. I'm like, just get rid of the damn church and just find a responsible job in the States and stay there. Don't make your teenage daughter uproot her entire life so that she will, of course, hate you. And
Right.
Now they're scarred for life. And you know what?
Fucking
We
hate
never
teenagers.
saw them again when they left.
Yep, they got demon possessed. The multiple possessions thing was also kind of cool. The fact that the multiple people were getting possessed simultaneously.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Honestly, when they said that, they're like, "Oh, this demon can possess multiple hosts at the same time." I was like, "Oh shit, we're gonna start seeing double digits in
It's
possession."
like the whole
And
family
then it's
just becomes demons running on the walls.
That's what I was thinking. But then at any given moment, it was like 2, and one of them was kind of possessed. So it's like,
newly possessed.
But he was also then flinging people
Yeah,
around
he was,
all at the same
he's
time.
battling
so he
the
was,
Exorcist, the newbie priest that likes
Yeah.
to fuck Spanish chicks.
Yep.
The panty sniffer.
yeah, that guy. We all know him now. Yeah. So the young priest had flaws, had problems. So, all right, but you were saying he's got a lot going on.
He's fighting 2 men of God and a mother of 2.
Yeah. Man, the king
It's
of hell
hard
is
to- it's-
outnumbered.
It's hard to keep up possession then.
The king of hell got really
Hey
outclassed.
man, he
in
hasn't
that
done
fight.
it for 600 years. He's a little rusty.
I'm trying to think of a real world equivalent of that. It's like it's like if Putin was trying to have a fist fight with RoboCop. It's like, yeah, you're the president of a country, but what's that doing for you right now? You're really you're not taking on much. I was really
I have
thinking
no
of
idea
that.
where you're going with that.
I was
Anyway,
just thinking the devil was gonna have I was thinking the devil, the king of hell. I was really expecting to see more possessions, and I was thinking I was really thinking it was gonna be this big thing, but it was very, very similar to every other exorcism where it's maybe 2 people.
yeah, well, I kind of like the background of the demons and whatnot. Is okay, Lucifer falls from grace, and 200 angels with him, and then those are the 200 spots on the earth that they're strongest or whatever, special gateways to hell, pretty much.
Yeah, I think it could.
I like the lore of it.
The setting and the lore what they're doing is definitely setting up for some cool stuff. And if you have Russell Crowe leading the franchise and then you bring on some other decent actors into it,
I kind of would have liked to see him get possessed and just like go back to the Vatican.
it would have been.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
I thought so too. They were setting it up.
It's like
that
we
way.
can't afford Russell Crowe throughout this franchise. Let's just get rid of him.
We gotta kill him off.
Well, apparently his asking price is not as much as I was thinking. Didn't Scarlett Johansson get like $30 million from Black Widow, or wasn't she supposed to get $30 million? What was the number?
Well, she was supposed to get something like that, but Black Widow went straight to streaming. Therefore, she didn't get her paycheck, and she sued.
Oh, that's why she sued.
But what I'm saying, like
Marvel.
A and B list actors can demand like a lot of money, and if the whole budget was $18 million approximately, maybe more. Russell Crowe didn't. I mean, he's gonna chew up a lot of that, but that leaves a very little amount for what's left over.
Well, I mean,
Hey, can I
look at the movie. It takes place in like 2 locations, basically, and so that makes it pretty fucking cheap.
One of them's off site on just an old.
Well, I guess 3,
church.
because you got the place under the cathedral or whatever, and then the house area.
Can I address the fact that he like when he's going to respond to the kid in trouble and he's coming from Rome or Italy, he rides all the way from Italy to Spain on his Vespa moped.
I leaned to Taylor and said that. I'm like, did he just ride that thing for
I
fucking
was like,
Italy?
this guy's just rolling out on a little moped.
I want a Vespa.
Well, so final thoughts on this, and then let's segue into the war room. Unless you guys have like anything else you guys want to run through on this guy, I think
Acting was good. Kid did a really good job.
the kid did a great job.
I recognize the mother from somewhere.
She's been in other stuff. She's not someone I would like go to a movie to see specifically,
No.
but she's been in stuff. Let me see if
She's been in stuff.
she's
She's been
not,
in some things.
She wasn't grabbed off the street. Who are we talking about here? We are talking about
Julia? No.
Julia.
Is it Julia? Alex Esso?
No, that's yeah.
Well, now I'm less convinced she's in stuff. Yeah, she's an actress, producer, writer. What's her filmography? She is in Doctor Sleep.
Midnight Mass.
Oh, Midnight Mass. That's what I recognize her from. That was a good
okay.
show up until the ending.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, she's not in anything I recognize. So if you guys recognize her from stuff, all the better for it. But, I would say so. This movie, fine.
good.
I didn't
give
hear
it
your rating. I didn't hear your
7.5.
number. 7 point what?
5.
7.5.
7.369.
Would you watch it again?
Maybe like a couple years down the road, but
Would you watch it as like required watching if it was a part of a franchise?
Yes.
yeah.
So if there's like a
If there's a-
Avengers of the Church.
If there's another one of these, I'd probably go see it.
All right. Slim, your
Yeah.
final thoughts?
It was good. I liked it. I'd
We got
probably
your
wouldn't
number.
go to it in theaters. If I were you, I'd like rent it, like I said, and bring it at home and just sit down and
Yeah, it's not a
Enjoy it.
required theater watch, really.
No.
I
and
I enjoyed it.
with other movies that are out right now, there's definitely other things to see for sure. Like I
Go see Mario.
I want to see the Expendables of Exorcists. Let's have like a bunch of actors that kind of fell out of the spotlight and then bring them back up.
Yeah.
Bunch of old dudes exorcising people.
I would love nothing more than anything for Russell Crowe to become more mainstream in Hollywood again, take the mantle of like a top tier actor and be at the forefront of a lot of new films. I would like nothing more than that. If this film leads to a franchise where he's at the head of it, I'm all in. You know, this movie, you know, it's a really good movie. I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it mostly because of Russell Crowe, and I don't know that the rest of the movie on its own with any other actor would have been worth even seeing and would have been worth seeing in theaters. Maybe it'd be dumb fun with some friends, but that's the end. That's as far as it goes if Russell Crowe's not in it for me.
Russell Crowe's fuck, I just lost the word.
Great. Awesome. The GOAT.
The man.
The GOAT!
I can't think of it. Anyway, no, his presence and he just brought a lot of funness to the character and whatnot.
He really did.
So
Well, I would say if you're someone thinking about what to see in theaters over the next week or two, The Pope's Exorcist compared up against some of the other films that are out there right now.
Holy shit, I'm retarded.
What'd you say?
Charisma. That's the
Charisma?
word I was-
Yeah, his charisma's awesome. He's magnetic. Like I said, he held up the film. I'm mixed on this. be advised that if you're going to this film and you don't appreciate Russell Crowe for his acting, there's going to be very little else to grab onto except for a relatively generic Exorcist film. And that's about what I've got.
Teenagers don't shut the fuck up in the back.
That was a thing. Yeah. Also, be mindful. There might be other audience members there who will ruin this for you. So maybe enjoy at home with some friends, and family. Definitely worth a watch for sure.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But
I'm not a big horror film guy, so
yeah, it'll depend on the medium that you want to enjoy this in. When it's on streaming or when it's a movie you can get, I'd recommend getting it because it is enjoyable enough to justify that. For $40 at the theater, I'll let you guys make up your own mind on that. Now that we've kind of told you what our thoughts on it are. My final rating, I would say 6.5. You guys kind of brought up some good points. Maybe 6.5. Like I said, it has to do with all Russell Crowe. Mm-hmm. So, leaving it at that, we will jump over into the war room. Okay, we're not. We need we get sound effects as we move into the war room. I feel like I've gone last in some of the last few war rooms, so maybe I should start this one. We are talking in theme with the Pope's Exorcist, The Last Exorcist.
The Last Exorcist is the beginning of a franchise.
Yes. In theme with the Pope's Exorcist, we are choosing our top choice for a horror film. Now, we may have other films that we like in this genre, but I'll kind of try to justify my choice here. The movie I chose is called Grave Encounters. It released in 2011, and the story revolves around this group of ghost hunters. They try to have their own television series, and this is their finale. If I'm remembering correctly, it's their finale.
It is, because they probably all die at the end.
Well, it was intended to be their finale without the expectation that they would die doing so. They go to an abandoned mental hospital, and they just plan on staying the night. They set up cameras all over the facility, and then they try to go to sleep. The following morning, they wake up and they go to the area where they're kind of bringing all their stuff together, and they realize that the entrance is gone, and a way out of the building is impossible to find.
I do know this movie.
And so their encounters with the supernatural gradually increase in intensity. Members of their group start to vanish or start to be dragged off or killed, and it's another movie that I would consider really dumb fun that I actually really enjoyed.
Is this like a found footage kind of thing?
Yeah. Yep. It's very much like a found footage. There is a sequel to this movie that I did not enjoy much at all. It was fine. It was a very decent continuation, but at the end of the day, the original movie is all I really care about. And the reason I like this movie so much, or this was my top choice, is because there's a lot of good horror films out there. I'm very fond of James Wan, who's a good director, producer, writer of horror films. And when he directs horror films, I'm all in. I trust his directing caliber and his movies that he makes.
Do you like his Aquaman movie?
No. His horror films that he makes. Sorry, I should be more specific. And I really like his films. I can't sit down and rewatch them, though. Like, if I look at the original Conjuring film, I haven't watched that movie again in maybe 3 years. So I haven't watched The Conjuring, I haven't watched the sequel, or Annabelle. I've seen all of the movies, but I just can't get myself to sit down and watch them again.
Well, the thing with horror movies, though, it's like after you've seen them once, you know and can expect every jump scare, what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. So it loses flavor.
That's exactly right, yeah. But with this movie, I guess maybe the justification for me liking this movie is that it's so forgettable. It's like I could go back and just keep re-enjoying it. I don't know if that's true. I do enjoy the jump scares in this film. I like the story. I like the premise. I like the characters. I think the acting's pretty good for what it is. I respect the reviews are pretty low on this film and that it is kind of just it didn't make its way to anything big. But again, even though there are other horror films that I think are objectively better, I can't sit down and rewatch them. I just can't bring myself to. And I challenge anyone who really likes it or Insidious or Conjuring to sit down and watch them again, and then if you really enjoyed it, just
I kind of have the same thing with like my favorite one was like The Empty Man, but it's same issue. I can't sit down and rewatch it again, so I picked something else.
There are movies that are just objectively better because the writing is better, the story is better, the quality of the jump scare is better, the special effects. I mean, everything's better, but then you can't sit down and enjoy them a second time. It's really frustrating. So you
is this one where they like end up meeting like the paranormal version of the guy that ran the hospital or whatever?
It is not.
Because there's a couple similar movies to this one.
Yeah, in the sequel movie, the leader of the ghost hunters, in the second movie they find him again, so he like was surviving.
Oh, that's
in there.
right. Okay, yeah.
So that's what happens in the sequel. They find the leader of the ghost hunters in the sequel.
Right, and he's
After the
just
first
been there for a while.
Yep.
Hanging out with ghosts,
Yep. He's lost time.
chilling.
But that's my choice. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I would recommend checking it out. If you're ever in the mood for a horror film that you haven't seen, Grave Encounters. Check it out. It's definitely fun.
I don't recommend it.
You wouldn't. Nobody asked you. No, I'm just kidding. Who's next?
I don't care.
Slim?
I could go.
All right, hit it.
Yeah,
Punch it,
mine
Chewie.
is Insidious.
Is
Just a good film I liked. I like quite different horror movies, but I just like this one because it was like one of the first ones I remember seeing, kind of with a group of buddies, and just did creepy, keeping you on your edge. It's like a kid goes into a coma, I believe, and then like they're trying to figure out what's happening, and just starts hitting the fan. It's a good watch. I like it a lot.
this came out in 2010? That was that long ago already?
Yeah, there's like a whole series of Insidious now. There's like 5.
Right.
No, there's only like 4. Because the last key is...
There's like 5? No,
So
there's only 4.
There's 1, 2, and I think there's 1, 2, and 3, and the last key I think is the 4th film.
Oh,
But I don't
okay.
think there's a 5th one. I'm sorry, I wasn't like hardballing you on that one, but I was just
There's
clarifying.
4
because
guys.
Oh, it's a Blumhouse film. I hate Blumhouse.
You hate Blumhouse?
I hate Blumhouse.
You're wrong.
They're so dumb.
No, they're not. Dude, Paranormal Activity made, like, what was it, hundreds of millions in profit
Yeah.
because the budget was so ridiculously low.
Yeah.
Like, Paranormal Activity set the stage. Now, there's
Yeah,
a good
because
argument for the
it
fact
was
they
like a
overdid it.
reintroduction of the found footage thing. Because Blair Witch is like the last horror movie that did that.
That, like, predates it by, like, what?
And they're like,
15 years?
this shit is real. That's how they marketed it too. It's like the scariest movie ever, and then they'd show the
Yeah.
audience freaking out.
It's all screaming, yeah.
It's like, nah, this shit actually happened. This is
But the found footage thing, the argument that it's like a carry-on of the found footage, the Blair Witch Project predates this movie by like almost, what, 10, 15 years?
yeah, it was a new generation of horror audiences that never were introduced to the found footage aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, but you can also make the
And
argument
I'm pretty
that...
sure they convinced a lot of dumbass people that it was real.
Well, sure, but I mean, that's every horror film's job. That's every horror film's marketing team's job. To try to convince people that this is like, ooh, spooky.
I don't know. I still don't like Blumhouse.
I mean, there's plenty of Blumhouse movies that aren't that great, but I think the fact that they were able to create, what is it, 5? I'm giving you the opportunity to correct me. 5 or 6
Yeah,
Paranormal
5.
Activity films. and
There's
all
a
No,
lot.
of them-
there are only 5.
Well, they
There's
all,
a lot.
I don't know. I think I've seen all of them.
I've
up
seen-
until like the Mexican one.
I saw the first 2. I didn't see.
I think I've seen the first 3.
I got really sick of it because they'd just like tease like more of the lore and whatnot at the end of every movie, and it would go absolutely fucking nowhere.
I love the they did a spoof movie out about the paranormal activities
Oh,
where
yeah.
they have the camera going around. It's like, what happened to all your furniture, cuz?
Oh,
And they all fall.
And it all falls down. It's like, what?
Dumb as
Start
shit.
shooting their guns into the house at nothing. Yeah, it was good fun. It was enjoyable.
I was one of the Wayne brothers.
Uh huh. It was very fun. But the Insidious franchise
It's better.
it is better. It is a really good
What
franchise.
happened to all your furniture, cuz?
I mean,
What the fuck?
here's another testimonial. James Wan was the director for Insidious. I have nothing wrong with Insidious, and if I lose to Taylor on this one, I
haven't won yet.
you've hopefully you will.
I want
Cody
pity
needs to
points.
Stop winning.
Oh, I will with this
If
one.
you are
no
listening,
one's seen my
stop
movie.
having an opinion and vote for Taylor's thing. Do what Taylor says. No,
I'm gonna cry if you don't.
that's cheating.
Yeah?
I like it.
I'm game for that. We'll put it on video.
Be a short.
What did
for
you think?
guys.
I mean, is there a shortfall in the Insidious franchise? Do you think they're burning out?
Yeah. Well, any franchise that goes that long, 5 movies, it's
Or 4?
or 4. It's too many. Stop.
I think
too
I've only
much.
seen the first 2. I think
I've
the
only
first one's the
seen-
most memorable
I
one.
think I've seen the first
Yeah.
3.
Honestly, I'm actually kind of hyped to rewatch Insidious, and I might just have completely annihilated my own argument.
This movie and The Conjuring, I always get mixed up.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
have the same...
Patrick Wilson or whatever,
Yeah.
isn't he in both?
Yeah. That is confusing as hell.
It is.
James Wan directs in both universes, too.
I'm just like, is this the franchise to where you can like enter the other realm or whatever? And
Oh, the spooky.
Ooh.
It's
the old lady that possesses him.
Yeah.
That's the Insidious franchise.
No, there's a demon that possesses him,
Mm-hmm.
and then the old lady. What's the old lady reference? I thought you were talking about the woman, or the woman who's exorcising the demon out.
No,
There is a lady
like
in
an
the,
old paranormal lady.
There is a lady in the Insidious universe that is actually a transvestite who's possessing people. That
Well-
happens in the Insidious universe.
Say that 5 times fast.
I can't. I don't even know if I could say it one more time. But
That is a tranny. Okay,
but there's at least one.
it's a cross-dressing old man lady.
Yep, and it wants to possess things.
That's confusing.
It wants to take over your child's mind.
Hey man, it's your
Sound
movie
familiar?
franchise.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't ratio me. All right. So, anything else to add on your choice?
No.
Is this the tiptoe one?
Tiptoe
Yes, it is exactly.
Yeah.
the window.
It's exactly.
That gets my vote just because of that.
It is. I mean, that was so damn catchy, and it was. You know, you started to hear it afterwards in like other mediums too. That you
Yeah.
would like. It's like when you buy a car and then you start seeing that car in other like all
Yeah.
over the place.
Right.
You hear this "Tiptoe Through the Tulips," I think is the name of the song. You hear it in this movie, and then over the years you hear it.
We're gonna get
it's,
copyright struck.
So many other places. For our singing, no. No one's gonna believe our version of this is legit. We're not that good. All right, Pandorum.
Pandorum.
Tell me about it.
Pandora.
Okay, so it's either this or Event Horizon, and Event Horizon's much more well known. It's a cosmic horror, sci-fi
Okay.
horror. That one is more along the lines of Lovecraftian horror.
I love Lovecraftian. I love it.
Love it. Anyway, this one takes place on a spaceship. It's like a colony spaceship going to a new planet to colonize. And to adapt to the new planet, they got like shit pumping through their system when they're in hypersleep to make them evolve to the new planet.
Right.
Anywho,
It's like terraforming humans.
Ben Foster wakes up.
Love Ben Foster.
There's like a cycle of crew members. It's like you're on for like 5 years or some shit like that, and
Yeah.
then you go to sleep. There's like a cycle of like 4 or 5 of them. But Ben Foster wakes up when he's not supposed to, has no memory or whatever, slowly regains it throughout the movie. Pandorum is like a psychological issue with deep space travel. You start to like lose yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
So he goes out, explores the spaceship, and he runs into like creatures and shit that he has to get away from. Well, all the while, Dennis Quaid is talking to him on the radio because he's also awake or some shit. And yeah, he runs into survivors. They're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, trying to survive the ship. And turns out Dennis Quaid was one of the first members of the crew.
Sure.
Never went to sleep. He ended up killing his crew. He got Pandorum, went crazy, killed his crew. Basically
Oh.
thought he was like god of the ship.
Okay.
And so, yeah, they basically make it to the bridge, take him out. The creatures the whole time are the passengers that did the evolving. They evolved to live on that spaceship, not evolved to live on the planet.
Oh, so it's like the humans, the crew members.
Everyone, all the like 20,000 colonists or whatever, all turn into
What the
monsters.
hell?
Because they were evolved to live on that ship.
I'm in it. This is actually kind of cool.
So, yeah, they get to the bridge or whatever, trying to figure out where the fuck they are, how long it's been and stuff. And they've been on Pandora, or the new planet.
Yeah.
Not Pandora. This is an Avatar.
Pandorum.
They've been on the planet the entire time in the ocean for like hundreds of years. And yeah, so they let all the colonists out and started a life anew.
That's
The big twist is that they've been there the entire time.
ooey.
They just crashed into the planet.
I remember.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, it's sci-fi thrillers. I'm really into them.
I'm actually kind of hyped on this movie as you're describing. I'm like, that's actually because
that
Dennis
sounds
Quaid.
cool.
And, I mean, both of these actors are actors I really like. Dennis Quaid, Ben Foster. I like both of them, and I don't see Dennis Quaid in enough movies that I get excited about.
Right.
I guess. There's the actor from Never Back Down is in this too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
The,
He's
the
in it for a little
antagonist
bit.
from Never Back Down is in it. I'd never see him in anything. Well,
Yeah, I've watched this movie, God, like 20 times. I think they were trying to make a new franchise, but it bombed hard.
yeah, it lost money at the box office.
Yeah.
And
So now it's just a cult classic.
well, I wonder if do you think it's made up its loss in post theater sales?
I mean,
of the
probably
movie?
with physical
Streaming?
media and whatnot.
Yeah.
Big problem with it, though, it's the same guy that made the Resident Evil movies.
Oh no.
The same producer, not
I'm
director.
I'm so over Resident Evil. I mean,
Dude, all the movies sucked.
yeah.
Every single one of them.
I mean, we're saying this in the wake of a rebooted game or remastered game coming out, and I mean, I hear that's doing ridiculously
Killed it.
well.
Yeah.
It's blowing
Everyone loves
expectations out of the water. But I don't. They can't make a decent Resident Evil film to save their lives. I mean, it's just unwatchable stuff to me now.
Another reason to watch this, the chick in it is really hot.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
There's a hot chick in this?
The only woman.
Oh my gosh.
Only woman.
Oh mama.
She's like, she also plays one of General Zod's lackeys in Man of Steel. That chick.
Damn. Yeah, I'm all about this. I don't know what I'm going to watch tonight. Am I going to watch Insidious or am I going to watch Pandorum?
Pandorum.
You're gonna scare yourself before bed?
Yeah, why not?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go watch Velma.
You're watching?
No,
Why?
no, I'm joking.
Did you say Velma?
I'm joking.
I'm going to rewatch it.
I'm gonna rewatch Velma.
Wait, is
I
Norman
mean,
Reedus in
watch.
this?
Yeah, Norman Reedus is in this.
Norman Reedus is it?
He's one of the survivors.
Did we say that on mic already, or did you tell me?
No,
about
I
that?
told you that before.
Oh my God! You slept on Norman Reedus. And, how long is he in the film?
Tiptoe
How long is his role? How big is his role?
away.
2 minutes?
That's not enough. I need more Norm.
Does he die right
I
away
need
or
more
what?
Norm.
It's kind of like one of the survivors that barely explains what's going on. And
Oh, he's a plot
Gets
device.
then,
murdered.
then
He's there to
murked.
further the plot. I understand. That's disappointing.
I wish this became a franchise. I enjoyed it.
You know what one of my favorite Norman Reedus performances is? When he's in Performance?
Oh, it's very claustrophobic film too, by the way.
Ooh, I could dig that.
A lot of tight spaces.
Claustrophobia.
If you catch my meaning.
Yeah, they're on a ship.
Thalassophobe-
I got it.
I actually have thalassophobia. It's like the ocean, like the deep ocean fear and stuff like that. That I don't want. To go
You should
any-
play Subnautica.
I don't. Yeah, I don't want to go
No.
anywhere near the
It'd be
ocean. I
horrifying.
do not. I won't do it.
I don't like oceans in video games. I'm just like swimming. Go, come on, come on.
I got
Don't
like
nothing grab
space
me.
better than the deep sea.
I don't like the ocean in real life. Do you ever see the what are they? Sand lice.
Fuck you, ocean.
Sand lice are nightmare fuel. Sand lice are nightmare fuel. They're just like there on the beach. You're hanging out. You're
I have
chilling.
no idea what that is.
Sand lice. You dig your palm into the sand. There's these little creatures that just like are burrowed under the
Creatures.
sand.
Like, get
and
into
they
your
just hang out
skin.
there. Oh, they're freaking terrifying. They're.
Watch out, kids, for sand lice. They'll eat you.
They-
Eat your toes.
I mean, I'm convinced they're
Don't touch
harmless.
sand and you'll be
but
fine.
I'm convinced they're harmless, but they are creepy as hell. Like the ocean is just like, don't touch it. Just leave it alone.
Just don't touch it. It's something you can't drink it. Just don't touch it.
Everything about the ocean hates you on a personal level.
The ocean's a big middle finger to everyone in Africa that's like looking for water. It's like
It's
you
salty.
have
and
boundless
undrinkable.
water, but you
No way
die
to
if you
distill
drink it.
Yeah,
No way to
don't
distill
touch it.
Oh man, poor Africa. I mean, they're spitting out people like Elon Musk who's doing good work, but otherwise, hey, I guess that's South Africa too. Oh.
Africa.
Well, guys, if you've listened to the podcast this long, I hope you guys have enjoyed it.
I don't know why you would.
Subscribe. Subscribe
This
to
is
the
what
channel.
you're doing with your day? Ugh.
Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment in the comments letting us know whose choice you think was best, or if you have your own suggestion for
I'm
a
4-0,
number
right?
one horror film.
Something like that.
Well, let's count it out. What do we got? We got favorite game. Did we do game? We never did game.
No,
We didn't do
never
trilogy.
Did game.
I'm remembering all the things we haven't done.
We did game.
Did we?
Did we?
Is that the one that's getting posted? Probably.
No, because you did the
Oh,
clone.
I did the clone.
Oh yeah. He did Star Wars.
We did do that.
Isolated narrative game. I did.
Oh, I
Battlelord.
did Fire Cry 3.
Yeah. So we did that one.
So that one, The Patriot.
Yep. Which was, what was that, historical? No, it was just number one film.
That was just
top
pick a
film.
movie.
And I did.
It's not
King
my
of Heaven.
favorite, but
Should be. It's a really good one.
it is. If you like America.
You get out.
So there's those three. And then we did sitcoms. I don't know the outcome of that one.
I don't think that's
I
posted
don't think
yet.
it's posted yet.
Oh,
Spoilers.
we did that last week.
That is right.
So, guys, again, if you've hung out this long, subscribe to the channel. We're really working on our way up to 100 subscribers. Anything you can do to help with that, we'd really appreciate. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. I am posting there as often as can.
Catch me on the gram.
About
On
that.
the gram.
I'm on the gram. How about that?
But we'll leave it there, and we will see you guys on the next one.
See ya.
Peace.
Peace. Think they bought that? No, I'm just kidding.
Bitches.
Oh, good times.